government executives and party executives.
All of us are politicians. We have our personal choices, we have our tendencies, we have our groups. But what's more in this country is we have to say that the responsibility we have to the unity of the party must supersede individual tendencies, aspirations, and individual agendas. So please, let us go.
They gathered to extract the party's position and chart a way forward. Top on the agenda were invitation to would-be members, sensitizing them for their permanent voters card and the ongoing harmonization. The Ogun West Senatorial District.
The problem of Ogun West is that of a child that has not been fed for 40 years. There is nobody who can come in 4 years and feed such a child to satisfaction. So we are being fed, but clearly there's still a lot of gap.
From what we can hear, I think the party is ready, the people are ready, I think everybody is ready. Registration is the main thing we are talking about, and I think from what you have said, that is going on well.
I want to thank him for all the things he has been doing for us. There is the only pertinent something we have to do is the development of the road.
I want to appreciate Governor for what he has done so far, so good in Ogun West, but we are still asking for more, like universities.
Our take home is very simple. We just have to go back to meet our people and ensure that they continue to do the continuous voters registration. Not only that, they have to be encouraged to collect their cards.
The meeting also unanimously agreed to support the re-election of Prince Dakwa Abiodun in the 2023 governorship election. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
And still to come in the news, federal government approves U.S. request for Abba Kyari's extradition. We'll bring you details. Thanks so much for joining us on the second segment of the news. Don't forget you can watch this news live on DSTV 260, GoTV 100 and StarTimes 113. The news continues. President Muhammadu Buhari has stressed the urgent need for broader multilateral action towards overcoming climate change, biodiversity, rising levels of pollution and waste, which he described as a major crisis threatening the planet. This was while addressing a special session commemorating the 50th anniversary of the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, in Nairobi, Kenya. Report says that the hybrid event is focusing on strengthening UNEP for the implementation of the environmental dimension of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. For 5 decades, the United Nations Environment Programme has used science in the execution of the mandate of bringing the world together and helping nations find solutions to great environmental threats. The UNEP at 50 celebration is therefore a time to reflect on the past and vision for the future, both at international cooperation and to stimulate collective action towards addressing climate crisis and make the environment safe, healthier, and better.
Must transform our societies and economies to protect the earth, our only home, so that it can sustain us.
In all we do, we need to follow science and engage in multilateral action to make peace with nature, to ensure decent future generations can live on a sustainable planet.
Let us therefore commit to support UNEP, to steer the environmental discussions towards tangible and sustainable solutions. Unchecked climate change will pose unacceptable risks to our security, our economies, and indeed our planet.
President Muhammadu Buhari expressed Nigeria's appreciation to UNEP.
Nigeria's appreciation to UNEP for its role in reducing biodiversity loss and for being a major player in the global movement to slow down deforestation and accelerate afforestation.
Climate change and achieve sustainable development. Therefore, by collaborating with partners such as the United Nations Environment Programme, we believe that much more success would be recorded in collective struggle against climate change.
He, however, said global efforts had adapted to climate impact notwithstanding. Nations are constantly facing the threat of disrupted weather patterns, low food production, and rising sea levels that increase the risk of catastrophic flooding, among other challenges. Nigerian elder statesmen have been called upon to offer their wealth of experience to prefer solutions to the numerous challenges confronting the nation. Keynote speaker and former secretary to the Ogun State government, Professor Adegbemi Onokoya, stated this at the 6th quarterly general meeting of the Southwest Association of Retired Heads of Service and Permanent Secretaries, which took place at the Valley View Auditorium, Government House, Okigbe, Abeokuta. Details of the event are in this package.
Retired heads of service and permanent secretaries across the southwestern region of Nigeria, comprising Ogun, Oyo, Osun, Ondo, Lagos, and Ekiti states, at their 6th quarterly general meeting in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. In the meeting's keynote address, titled Nigeria in Crisis, an Agenda for Elder Statesmen, Professor Adegbemi Onokoya identified distorted federating arrangement and corruption as two major areas, standing as strong obstacles on which diverse challenges are built upon.
Elder statesmen and women should continue to contribute to nation building through community service, involvement, advising, and mentoring. Elders need to embark on the innovation journey. Your Excellency, the future is in our hands. The time to make a difference is now. We are in the hands of the Lord.
Earlier in their opening remarks, Chairman of the Association in Ogun State and President of the Southwest Region, Otumba Babatunde Oshokoya, and Dr. Ebenezer Okebukola dwelled on how to encourage impact of the association across various states. There were goodwill messages from stakeholders at the meeting, including the current head of service in Ogun State, Dr. Nafiu Olatunde Aigoro.
Thus, we appreciate your seasoned support, prayers, and contributions towards the peace, progress, and further development of our respective states.
We must not let the labors of our heroes be in vain. We therefore, as public service leaders in the coach's bench, must devise and pursue ways and means towards ensuring the restoration of the dwindling glory of the public service.
In his message, special guest of honor, the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, represented by his Chief of Staff, Alhaji Shoaib Salisu, underlined the imperativeness of effective contributions of civil servants to governance and the need to do more in building an egalitarian society.
As retired civil servant and permanent secretary and head of service, you must show more than passing interest in the politics of the country. People look at you as champion. They look at you as role models. You carry moral body to discharge the responsibility of providing guidance and leadership to people. In the choice of people that provide leadership to them, you can no longer afford to stay by the side and watch it happen. Everything rises and falls with politics. You can therefore not afford to stay away from the political space.
The meeting thereafter went into a technical session.
Augusta government, in conjunction with the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, is set to host the first edition of Gateway Secure Confab with a theme, Security, a Collective Responsibility. The three-day event is expected to take place between 26th and 28th April 2022. Benga Adekoya was at the Conference Hotel at Abeokuta, venue of the press conference, and his report is presented in this package.
Out of the need for security architecture in Ogun State to synergize and provide adequate security for all residents of the state, The Gateway Secure Confab 22 is the premier edition of Ogun State Security Conference, scheduled to hold in Abeokuta, the state capital, between 26th and 28th April 2022. The program, as put together by Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, will go a long way towards tackling the current state of insecurity in the state and Nigeria at large.
This is just to see how we can bring together the stakeholders that will make Abeokuta to be aware, to be conscious, and be proactive. When we're talking about security, we need a connection with international body, then above it all, security. I think if there's security, all this we are talking about will surely give us peace.
The project coordinator and team leader, Mr. Dare Ogini, briefed the media about the aims and objectives of the Gateway Secure Confab.
Nigeria has been undergoing a series of insecurity in all parts of the country. And Ogun State is a part of the country, and we have had so many cases in Ogun State, ranging from ritual killings, farmer headers, clashes, Yahoo boys menace, and the cultism issue that has been rocking the state. Talking with NSCDC, we discovered NSCDC happens to be the closest to the grassroots.
Question and answer session wrapped up the briefing.
The federal government has approved the request by the United States of America to extradite the suspended commander of the Police Intelligence Response Team, Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari. The U.S. had requested that Kyari should be extradited over alleged $1.1 million wire fraud involving Abbas Rahman, also known as Osh Papi, and 4 others. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, made this known in an application filed before the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Malami said the application was necessitated by a request by the diplomatic representative of the U.S. Embassy in Abuja. The United States Attorney's Office at the Central District of California had ordered the FBI to arrest Kyari almost a year ago. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, had recommended the suspension of Kyari, which the Police Service Commission carried out on July 31, 2021. The police boss had on August 2nd, 2021, constituted the panel headed by the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Force Criminal Investigations Department, Joseph Ebunike, to probe the allegations. The federal government has reconstituted a team to renegotiate the 2009 agreement it had with the Academic Staff Union of University. A statement by the Director of Press, Federal Ministry of Education, said the new renegotiation team is headed by Professor Emeritus Nimi Briggs, the Pro-Chancellor Alex Ekweme Federal University, Ndufo Alike Iko. Reconstituting the team, the Minister of Education, Adamu, said there is need to speedily bring to a conclusion all outstanding issues on the 2009 agreement in order to achieve the desired industrial peace on the campuses. The statement further said the team will be inaugurated by the Minister on Monday, the 7th of March 2022 at the Ministers' Conference Room, headquarters of the Federal Ministry of Education, Abuja. The 2009 agreement reached with the union included conditions of service for university lecturers, funding of universities, university autonomy, and academic freedom, and was an adaptation of an earlier agreement reached in 2001. The Ogun State government will support the training of 503 principals across the state to tackle the challenges facing the training of the 21st century students. This was disclosed by the chairman, Ogun State Teaching Service Commission, during a training organized for principals of public secondary schools Okemoson, Abeokuta, Ronke Adeyemi.
Of the 21st century requires an upgrade as well as acquisition of new skill sets, which will help with the delivery of secondary education to learners in the country. As part of the continued effort of Ogun State, the week-long training, which commenced on February 22nd, 2022, are taking place in Remo, ICT Polytechnic Shapade, Ijebu, Taisholari University College of Education, Yewa College Ilaro, and this one in Egba Zone, all in an effort to reach 503 principals across the state. Chairman, Ogun State Teaching Service Commission, Evangelist Lekon Ifede, while appreciating the state governor for the support, said in view of unprecedented atrocities in schools, there is the need to approach these critical times with critical measures.
If those systems work that time, now we have seen that they are not working as expected. So that's why we are coming with new ideas. And you must understand that if you do the same thing the same way all the time, you never get better results.
Stakeholders at the event enjoined principals to use this opportunity to unlearn and relearn.
Hence, as principals, we are expected to keep improving on our skills beyond leadership and educational management.
Guest speakers presented papers on discipline and teamwork toward achieving excellence as well as overall well-being.
Time, we must lay emphasis more